Cryptocurrency has bottomed out and people are freaking out. Is cryptocurrency still a long-term viable solution for long-term investing? Season 2 of Crypto Oasis starts right now. Oops. There we go. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this edition of Crypto Oasis. It is Season 2. Season 1 was wildly successful. Of course, my guests this evening are, of course, Cultivate Crypto and Dollar Cost Crypto. And, you know, it's funny, we were actually just talking off the air about the last time that we were all on the air at the same time, and my channel got summarily shut down, but I digress. Everything appears to be in working order. Gentlemen, it is a pleasure to be joined by you today. How you guys doing, man?
Yeah, just getting rolling here on my Sunday morning, but yeah, ready to talk crypto, baby.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. And look, dude, so let me put Charlie on the screen. So Charlie, like, both of you look older and wiser and richer. You guys have been and listen, by the way, congratulations to the success of both of you guys. These two guys have the Crypto Mindset course. And if I'm not mistaken, that is the most widely sought after crypto course in the world. I don't think anybody else is doing what you guys are doing. Am I wrong?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So let me go to Miguel first. Miguel, talk to me about how your life has changed since the launch of the first, actually really the second one. That's when you guys really popped. How has your life changed since the success of the Crypto Mindset course?
Well, I've always wanted to be like full-time crypto, but it's just the sort of thing where, you know, I was running a full-time business, a full landscape and irrigation business full-time.
Wow.
And finally, when the courses really just started going off, I mean, it finally gave me the incentive and the reason to actually just go full-time into crypto, right?
Good.
And I was able to pass off my business to my family.
Oh, wow. Oh my God. It must be extremely gratifying to be able to bring your family in on this kind of stuff, right?
Oh no, definitely. It was really cool.
Good stuff. The money's not bad either. Am I wrong?
No, sir.
Don't go into detail.
Look, I'll tell you what, man. I knew that Charlie and Miguel had made it when I took a look at Miguel's shoes at the CME. I said, "Yep, they made it. These boys are rich." Charlie, talk to me about how your life has changed. I mean, listen, dude. Like, you've got a cooler haircut. Your goatee is solid. Like, dude, you're a better looking guy. It's all. Oh, yeah. Now, see. Obviously, you have gray hairs for a reason, for good reason. But how has your life changed since the success of the Crypto Mindset course?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I started on YouTube, right, that was back in 2019 when Bitcoin was, I think, about like $3,400. Me and
wow,
started the Tokyo Crypto Show.
Yes,
so
yes.
That was quite a while ago, and you know, it was funny. Like I'd quit my six-figure job here in Tokyo in the end of 2018, basically, to start the YouTube channel, which everybody thought I was absolutely insane to do.
Of course.
And it was funny because, you know, I was looking online like for side hustles and stuff like this, and I was just like, the thing that made me the most money in 2019 was just trading, right? So
okay.
It's just like one of these things where it's like you trade to survive and like keep up the same lifestyle. So once we started doing the Crypto Mindset course, you know, it's like, hey, not only are we helping a bunch of people, but it also, you know, gets basically multiple streams of income going. And so it really just basically solidified the YouTube channel, solidified all the services that we're able to give people.
Yes.
And just recently we did a party in Vegas where we probably overspent, but, you know, we wanted to do this for the guys in the course, you know, because they've supported us, but we also want to support them, and we've supported them in many ways, and everybody there was giving a lot of success stories. And it's like, I don't see anybody else in crypto having a party or having an assembly
of course not,
you know, tons of people in Vegas or anywhere else, you know, during the middle of a bear market. So, you know, things are going pretty well.
Man, I'll tell you what, dude, it is so cool to see people like you guys become wildly successful, man. Because I remember when I remember when we first started season 1, and we'll get into the show. We're just kind of reminiscing here. It's been a while. So we started season 1 in, I want to say 2021. It's like January the 4th of 2021. Then I went out, then of course I went out to Phoenix before the first CME. And we had a few shows then, a couple of hookups with the channel, but it is what it is. But since then, you guys have been on a rocket ship to the moon. And again, dude, my sincerest congratulations to the both of you, man. It is very, very cool. It's really cool to see guys come from where they are to where they are now. It's extremely gratifying to say, hey, you know what, those two successful guys, those guys used to be on my show. They used to be one of the little guys once upon a blue moon. But all jokes aside, man, my sincerest congratulations to the two of you, man. You guys are as deserving of success as anybody in this industry, man.
Yeah, we highly appreciate it, man.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it was too bad, like, when we were on your show the last few times or whatever, and just everything's crashing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The stream and the crypto market. No.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say. Now I've recovered. The crypto market has not yet. And so let's go ahead and ask this general question, because it's been a while since we've been on the air, but a lot has changed since the last time we were on the air. I think, you guys can look, right now, Bitcoin is at $21,000. Looks like Ethereum is at 12.15, and you guys can see it right there at the bottom. And of course, Litecoin is at 53.87. It's actually up almost 4%, which is a little bit astonishing. So let me start with you, Dollar Cost. What does this crash mean? Like, can you give me, because a lot of people want to know why. A lot of people lost a lot of money, and there are people out there like, you gotta hodl, you gotta make sure, you gotta have diamond hands. Other people are like, oh my God, I lost my life savings. I'm gonna jump out of a building. I don't know what to do. Help me to make sense of this all. Help me, Miguel. I need you to help me not slit my wrist, man. Like, what do you say to guys like me? I'm ready to jump off of a building because I've lost 5, possibly 6 figures in the crypto market.
The worst is almost over.
Oh, thank God. Whew. All right.
Yeah, the worst is almost over.
All right.
We're in a sort of a zone right now where I call it the asymmetrical zone, where it's like an asymmetrical bet. What that means is, if I put $1 down now, it's a very good chance I can make $5 to $10 on that single dollar that I purchase now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So the crypto, so even like you could still put $1 down and it can go to 50 cents, but then like within a year or 2 years, those 50 cents then turn into $5, $6, $10
wow.
in a year or two. That's the kind of level we've dropped so much now that we're just in a zone right now. We're just being snipers and actually just buying the main coins right now. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hex, maybe a couple of other coins, Polkadot, Cardano, or some of these main coins that you want to start looking into to start purchasing, but mostly be focusing on Bitcoin and Ethereum for the initial purchases, because when these coins are the first ones to drop down and bottom out. Once they bottom out, then the altcoins take a little bit longer for them to bleed out. And then, so it's like, once we've done the major purchases on your Bitcoin and Ethereum, then we get into the altcoins, and then we really can start making some real money. Okay. All right. Very good. So Cultivate, why did the crypto market crash? I know that we've got streaks, peaks, and valleys. We want to, dude, buy the dip. I remember that's the one thing that you guys drilled into my heads when it took a little bit of a turn. But why is it that crypto, like, the dive was precipitous? Like, all of a sudden, Bitcoin was at $62,000. We wake up the next morning and it's at 45. So what happened?
Yeah, very good question. There's quite a few things. There's some things which are crypto specific, and then there's some things which are macroeconomic specific. So I would say the main driving factor in terms of how low we have gone is the macroeconomic effect. So the fact that the Federal Reserve decided to stop quantitative easing, stopped printing money. They went into what is called quantitative tightening and increasing interest rates. So it's not only affected crypto, but if you look at pretty much every single market is going down now, and there's pretty much a virtual guarantee that we're already in a recession globally. So that right there, no assets going to, it's kind of like a little bit of a black hole. No assets going to be able to get out of that gravitational type pull. But that being said, when you get crypto below certain levels, there were some actors in the space who weren't really acting properly. They were over leveraged, essentially, meaning they borrowed or loaned more money than they should have, and their companies are now going bankrupt for that. So in crypto, it's not the perfect system. It's not quite, it's like a mix between what we call Keynesian economics, which is the way the world works currently.
Yeah, of course,
and Austrian economics, which is a little bit more idealistic, meaning that you should let companies fail, the ones that are supposed to, and then you let the good ones survive and everything like that. So we're seeing that in crypto right now, and not everybody wants that, right? Some people want to save these companies, so because there's going to be some innocent people who maybe weren't as educated as they should be,
right?
Because they didn't take the crypto mindset course. They just bought cryptocurrency, put it on a platform, trusted somebody else, and didn't hold their own keys. So
that's right.
We tried to basically give everybody that security for if they're brand new to crypto, or if they're experienced in crypto, how to do better on the next run around. And for the people who are with us on that run around, like everybody who was at the party was having a great time, still up, and so you can do a lot with your portfolio even in the downtrend.
Now, dollar cost, it according to Cultivate Crypto, it sounds like, because a lot of people right now, crypto it's getting slammed in the media. There were a lot of naysayers early on about cryptocurrency. It's just another fad. You guys remember the one phone call we had, the 62-year-old guy from California. What are you guys going to do if it fails, and blah, 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 blah. It sounds to me like crypto wasn't the main reason that crypto dropped. It was the economy as a whole. Just like Charlie said, people were over leveraged. They were over borrowing. Basically, they were upside down in everything they had. Did the economy, in your opinion, what played more of a factor in the crypto crash? Was it the economy as a whole, or was it just the crypto market and its volatility?
Honestly, it was the overall market. Basically, I mean, just if you ask any of the major entities or any of the major guys in the crypto space, like someone like CZ, which is the guy who runs Binance, which is the world's biggest exchange. Even he was like, everyone expected. I mean, no one expected the market to actually be overheated until Bitcoin got itself over at least $100,000, $140,000 before maybe things were getting a little too overheated. So even he was taken kind of, and he's the leader of the largest exchange on the planet. He was kind of taken back of like how quick it was. So it was more of just the rest of the world's markets. We basically had a top in real estate. Equities taking a really big hit. Inflation's going out of control. Gasoline is at all-time highs, which is not where it's supposed to be right now. I mean, like, I have family members who send me pictures of gasoline at $10 in California.
Oh my God, no way. No fucking, oh my God, that's insane. Oh my God, Jesus fuck. I'm sorry, I just shit myself. My bad. God damn, holy God. All right, please keep going. Fuck.
Insurance is at all-time highs. Food, just normal food staples and stuff, meat's up 50-60% on that. I mean, everything that you actually need to live your life, or something that you actually really want to attain in your life, is actually just keeps increasing in price, and then wages are flat to negative.
Okay.
On top of that.
Now I've got a comment on the SharpStream chat. JBlaze11 says the Ukraine war fucked us. Charlie, does Russians' invasion on Ukraine, does that have any bearing on the crypto market, if any at all?
Yeah, it'll have a bearing on the entire world economy, and therefore the crypto market by extent. So that's the one thing that I think a lot of people, when they talk about Bitcoin, everybody's like, it's a hedge against inflation. It's a hedge against inflation.
Right.
Over a 5 to 10 year period, it is. Over a 6-month period, it may not be. So actually, when Russia first invaded Ukraine, the markets actually bounced to the upside a little bit.
Okay.
So it's not like you can just say like that's the only reason why, right? But it's definitely a factor that's dragged down some of the global economy, and so therefore it's going to affect crypto. So right now you can kind of look at crypto in the short term like a tech stock, meaning that it's highly volatile. It will outpace most other types of assets, and it's one of the difference between equities though and stocks and crypto is that crypto is way more liquid, so you're going to get people, it's easier to sell off.
Right.
And so you're going to get much more volatility, both to the upside as well as the downside. But with crypto, you can only go down 99%, but you can go up, not infinite,
it's unlimited, but yeah, pretty much, right?
Relatively speaking. So, yeah, so I would say he has a good point there. The other thing that we would be looking for around the corner, and this is for all markets, not just crypto, is like any Chinese invasion of Taiwan or escalation in Eastern Europe or something like this. These things can prolong the recession essentially.
Okay.
So if the recession gets prolonged, which still is unofficial, but if that gets prolonged, the average is usually about 18 months, and if we're already in one, we're already at least 7 months into one. So basically the next year, what you're looking for, in my opinion, is the bottoming of the crypto market, then the bottoming of stocks, mainly tech stocks, probably by the end of this year, but that's anybody's guess, and then eventually real estate towards maybe this time next year.
Okay, very good. So there is hope, even though Russia has invaded Ukraine.
There's so much opportunity, and the downside, it's not even funny. Like as long as so the problem right now is if you're in cash, you're literally losing at least 10% per year. They only tell you, inflation's lower than 10%, but it's definitely above 10%, probably even higher. Miguel probably has a lot more to say on that, which is really interesting. But with inflation eating away at your money, if you're in cash, well then, you got to be in something that's going to gain, right? So it's like this kind of chicken and egg scenario where investors say cash is king, but that's like, if you're talking less than 6 months. And so, I think towards the end of this year, you're going to start seeing the larger players. You're already seeing Warren Buffett deploy cash into stocks again. And so they're already trying to get a little bit ahead of the curve.
Okay, Miguel, so Charlie said that you had something to add to one of his points earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah, just saying, like, in terms, so the inflation, so normally what they say is inflation's 5-6% inflation, right?
Okay.
Which is still pretty bad, actually. Like inflation's supposed to be 0 to 2% at most, right? But where the actual inflation rate is for most people, if you just look at like what life's starting to cost you in terms of rent going up, mortgage
cost of living,
all-time highs, cost of living and everything, we're more than likely increasing about 15 to 20% a year.
Okay. Wow.
15% inflation rate. 15% inflation rate.
Wow.
That means you lose your economic. So it means about every 8 years you lose half of your purchasing power.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, man. So how do you so as far as crypto is concerned, how do you protect yourself from those losses? Is there a strategy, or you just have to be like an eagle eye about it?
No, there is a strategy, right? I mean, it's actually something I think Warren Buffett actually said a long time ago, was like, you get excited when there's blood in the streets, and you get fearful when everyone's greedy. Right.
Yeah.
It's this whole thing. Like right now, everyone's scared. Everyone's not investing, and Warren Buffett's putting cash out. Me and Charlie are buying crypto right now.
Of course.
There's these times where everyone's like, I don't know about that whole crypto thing. That's probably the best time to be buying crypto when everyone is skeptic.
Fair enough. Billy out in California. I hope he's watching. I remember when he called us faithfully. All right, so let's get to some of our questions here. Is there a minimum? I'll start with Charlie here. Is there a minimum amount? And this is sort of a remedial sort of question. This is obviously a first-time viewer or somebody who's new to it. Is there a minimum amount needed to start investing? I have been living paycheck to paycheck my whole life.
Good question. And one question I would ask on that, if we were doing a consultation or something like this, a little bit more of a personal discussion, would be, roughly what is that paycheck, and what's your disposable income per month? Because when you're going into crypto, you only want to go in with what you're willing to lose. So when I first got into crypto in 2017, I'd been kind of heard of it a few times before that, and I was like, it looks interesting. But then basically I got introduced to cryptocurrency, Ethereum specifically, when it was around $90. $30 is when I first got introduced. But
wow.
I didn't think about it. And then 3 months later, it was $90, and I was like, should I still buy this? Maybe it's the top, So I was just like, how much should I put in? And at the time, my father was in cryptocurrency, my brother as well, and they were just like, put in what you're willing to lose. And I said, well, how much does my sister have in there? And they're like, $900, so I'll put in 1,000. All right. Okay. Very nice, man. Very nice. Like I thought it was gonna go to zero like the next day, and so like
that'd be our luck, wouldn't it?
I just totally forgot about it. 2 months later, I look at it. It went from $90 in terms of the price of Ethereum to $400.
Woo!
By the end of the year, it went to 1,000 and then 1,400.
God
right? So
damn!
Like, holy shit, this is
so
awesome.
you were in. It was like, all right, I'm in.
Hell yeah. Well, I put way more in, but after that, but like, what I would say to him is, just living paycheck to paycheck is hard. So you want to make sure that you cover all your costs beforehand. You don't want to go in any more than what you actually are willing to lose. So, if it's $100 per month, good on you, right?
Okay.
Like anything is good at the beginning to really build up your nest egg. I think a lot of people in the United States right now are having a hard time getting a savings of even $1,000, and definitely even $10,000, right? So really, whatever you can get. What I would recommend for somebody who's brand new is download Cash App. That's one of the easiest ones to set up first. Buy some Bitcoin on there, and then you can start setting up other exchanges later. And right now, keeping it simple is good. Buying Ethereum is probably going to give you, a few more X's towards the future. So if you buy Ethereum over Bitcoin, that's cool too. But yeah, just figure out the simplest way to get something first, because once you have a little bit of skin in the game, it doesn't matter how much. Then you start getting interested, because I wouldn't have been paying attention at all if I hadn't had that $1,000.
Right. Okay, so to sum up before we go to Miguel with the same question is download Cash App, figure out what your discretionary income is, your expendable income. In other words, the income that is left over after all of your expenses are paid, and only invest.
You're willing to lose.
Yes, there you go. Right. Invest what you are psychologically and financially willing to lose. I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good advice. Dollar cost. Your advice to the gentleman who wants to know if there's a minimum amount needed to start investing.
Right. So, I mean, yes to all the points that Charlie made. And, the reason I call myself dollar cost crypto is because I basically started off at the same place that he did.
Okay.
I was like, I was like, I had a business, but I was barely breaking even, barely being able to pay anybody. Like I was paying my employees and like bringing almost nothing home.
God, dude, I've been there. Jesus. Oh.
Yeah. Just working 7 days a week from like dusk till dawn. I mean, literally. But, so, I mean, I actually did use the Cash App and stuff. So, I mean, the way I always thought about it is like, all right, I'm scraping together. I got $40 left over, $50, $100 left over.
Okay, all right.
The way I thought about it is like every $20 I put in, I'm gonna take 100 out later on.
Okay, all right.
That's how I always thought about it. I put $100 in, I get $1,000 in, and it came true. That's for sure.
Yes, I was gonna say you've done pretty good.
Yeah, but the way you're supposed to do it is the beautiful thing about using the Cash App or using something like a Coinbase. The minimum is really like $10, really. Okay. Everyone can scrape $10 together. So you could buy $10 of Bitcoin, $10 of Ethereum. They're only going to charge you 99 cents. So you're going to get $9 of crypto in there. But the beautiful thing is those $9 can actually become $80, $60 for you in the future. So you got to think about future you and say, like, look, if I put this $100 away, I'm going to have $500 in the future in the next 2 years. Those $500, even with inflation going at 15%, you've now gone richer and been protecting your purchasing power. That's what we're talking about. Crypto is really an inflation hedge. Even though there is big downs, the ups are higher than the downs. And it gives you so many more multiples on your capital that you end up actually putting yourself into a better spot in your life. And then you can actually save up a nest egg where you're able to change your life and actually make moves to actually improve your life. That's the important part. Change
your life and change the lives of your family members. That's what's really that. I can't tell you how incredibly gratifying it is. I'm very and you two are you guys can probably speak to this. I am I consider myself to be very, very fortunate to be in the position to where I can help my family. Yes, the money is nice and all that other kind of stuff, but something that surprised me was how great it felt to help my family. It's out of this world, man. And if investing $10-20 a month can help your family down the line, I would say that's worth it. I mean, to me, that's more than worth it. A lot of people don't like their families, but it is what it is. Oh, go ahead, Charlie. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say 110%. Like, setting up a lot of different things to make sure long term that they're taken care of no matter what happens to you. Is really important. And I think one of the things is like, it starts with a trickle and then it ends up being a flood. Like the longer that you have for your time horizon of your goal setting, as well as the more like you have to start a little conservative. And
sure, of course,
more ambitious along the way. But one thing that crypto did for me, in addition to helping the family and getting them in a good place, was it motivated me to also like push myself, because once you start making money in crypto, it's different than the traditional system. Some people may not like to hear this, but in the traditional system, there's a lot more manipulation. There's a lot more rigging for all the scams that there may be in crypto. In the traditional market, it's, to be honest, way worse in my opinion. So basically, crypto motivates you to figure out markets. It motivates you to learn the things that are essentially boring of traditional finance. I was not interested in the traditional market whatsoever. But once I saw, kind of the ability to bring yourself up by your bootstraps, which I know is a cliche thing to say.
Yeah, but that's what's possible with crypto, literally.
Exactly. And it helps you learn, it helps you work harder, it helps you help your family, it helps you help the people around you who want to be. And so to me, it's only been positive. But there's so many people out there who look at glass half empty. They look at all the bad things going on in the market. Well, you're going to get that in any financial market, and you're going to get that anywhere that's new. So, if you really put yourself to it and you really focus yourself on a 5 to 10 year timeline, hey, I'm going to do this. All the things that Miguel said, like, you're going to definitely hit those goals.
It sounds to me like you're suggesting, hey, you're going to have to embrace the mundane. The only exciting times as far as crypto is concerned is when you're making money or losing money, right? You want the good kind of excitement, but you don't want that bad kind of excitement. But when you're preparing for the profits and the losses, yeah, that stuff can be a little bit tedious. It is mundane. Sometimes your eyes can hurt. Sometimes it can be a headache to be looking at numbers all the time. But in the end, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's worth it. All right, let me, so we have, we've got a really good question here. So this question is, I've been holding a lot of fiat, waiting for these lows. Still haven't dipped in yet. Which 5 coins would you invest in across these categories? 1 coin for each. Holy moly. He says, number 1, long-term hodl, 5 to 10 years. Number 2, mid-term hodl, 2 to 5. Short-term games, number 3, 1 to 2 years. GameFi, number 4, and number 5, staking play. I have no idea what any of that means. I'll start with dollar cost crypto. Make sense of what I just read, please.
Okay, so super long-term, 5 to 10 years, obviously Bitcoin.
Okay.
Super simple. Now it's super simple. That's the OG. That's the gold. In terms of more of a medium-term short play, 2 to 5 year play would obviously be Ethereum. There's a lot of upgrades going on with Ethereum.
Okay.
It's going to start doing some really kind of cool stuff, and then from there we'll see if it actually can get the further upgrades and needs. If not, then we can just divest, and we've made a ton of profit either way. So it's kind of that's why I'd have Ethereum there. The second one would be more of a shorter term play. That would be something like Hex. There's just a ton of upgrades coming out. It's having an ecosystem launch by at least the middle of next year.
Okay.
And this year we're actually going to have a movie coming out that's going to be on Netflix.
What?
Come off of the coin. Yeah.
What? Wait. Who's putting out this movie on Netflix?
So it's called The Highest of Stakes. I forgot the group, but basically it's a buddy of mine, RG3, the Discord Syndicate and stuff. I had a show that I co-started, and I started along with them.
Wow.
As well as Rackham. Yeah, they've gotten Netflix into it, and they're going to launch a movie. It should come out towards the end of the year. And there's more stuff that I can't say.
All right, okay, that's
cool. I want to
cool.
say, but I can't say. But there's some good news coming out, and that's going to bring out a lot of eyes onto that cryptocurrency. So anytime you have a lot, like that much people, even if it's 1 million new people looking at something, they'll end up buying, and then it pushes.
Oh, that's gonna, yeah. Oh yeah. Now RG3, that's not Robert Griffin III, is it?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Totally kidding. Yeah, Robert Griffin III. I mean, I don't know. RG3 probably does invest in crypto. Cultivate. What are your thoughts on these short to long term? What are your suggestions? Do you agree, disagree? Anything to add? Or
pretty much 110% agree on everything Miguel said there
for
those 3 categories.
Okay.
For the third category where Hex is, the other one to pay attention to is Pulse Chain, but that one has not come out yet. So, that one, because I think the question was like a 1 to 2 year play there. And so Hex is where you want to start there, in my opinion. Simply just looking at numbers, because a lot of people in crypto, they get bent out of shape about like the politics or the social dynamics between coins. And Hex, to be honest, like has some of that drama, right? But everywhere else does as well. So, but if you just look at the numbers, the all-time high was around 55 cents. It's currently around 3.5 cents.
Okay.
So if it just gets to its previous all-time high, or even half of that, it's a 10 to 15, 20x, right?
Okay.
Versus Bitcoin, to get to that level in the next 1 to 2 years, right? If Bitcoin goes from 20K to 70K,
Woo!
It's basically like a 3.5x.
Yes,
so
sir.
You have way more gains on the short term with Hex. And then Pulse Chain is basically created through the Hex community as a more broader ecosystem to that chain, essentially.
Wow.
And so there's a lot going on there. The one thing in crypto that nobody's saying right now, except for us and the people in the Hex community, is that Pulse Chain is basically the most fairly launched coin that I've ever seen. The reason why that is because last summer and in January, for Pulse Chain and Pulse X, which are 2 coins in that ecosystem, you essentially got you basically took whatever you wanted to get for that coin. You sacrificed it all at the same time. Everybody saw who the leaders were. It was like an ICO.
Okay.
But usually in an ICO, your friends go first, the company goes first, the friends go next,
right.
The public later.
You make them the guinea pig.
Exactly. It's everybody at the same time, fairly launched. It all starts at 0 when it first gets into your wallet for tax purposes. And so if you miss that phase, essentially what you want to do is you want to pay attention to Hex, want to pay attention to what's going on there, figure out Pulse Chain before it comes out. And then once it comes out, boom, you can get some. And then it's a good 1 to 2 year play. But
very good.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like there are some incredible innovations coming out in the crypto community, man. Like what you just talked about, Charlie, that to me, I mean, dude, I can't even, I think the cryptocurrency, my mind's going all over the place. It's only kind of limited by our imagination. I mean, like we got some really smart people out there with some really cool innovations. And if they're anything like you guys are talking about, I think we're all in for a lot of money. Of course, if we play our cards right. Got another question. This person here says, I have one main question. Why do people think crypto is going to make such a huge comeback when the economic conditions that allowed it to rise to not even $70,000 in the first place, in the case of Bitcoin, no longer exists? The Federal Reserve has raised interest rates, the economy is going to shit, and most people do not have disposable income to invest in cryptocurrency. Every single economic condition required for crypto to rise is now over.
I got this one.
Yeah, all right, Miguel. Lay it on me. Lay it on me, man.
Let me dust the dirt off the shoulder a little bit right here. Okay.
Only 70K.
Only 70K. All right. So
from 0.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, here's what's going on. All right. A large amount of people who've been in cryptocurrency for a lot of years, me, Charlie, people that have been in the crypto space for much longer, made a lot of money and still have quite a lot of money in the background. So people like me and Charlie, people who've taken the course, and a significant number of other people around the world who have deep pockets are just like licking their chops right now to start buying. Basically, there's a lot of capital on the sidelines ready to purchase. There's a ton of true believers in the crypto space.
Right.
Here's the thing, it's mostly, I would say, mostly millennial Xers that are really got the money to start buying and stuff. But there are some really big true believers. Now, that's on the more retail side, normal people like us.
Right.
Now, on the institutional side, corporations are also trying to buy a ton of Bitcoin and Ethereum and a bunch of these crypto assets.
Right.
I would say about 2/5 of the Federal Reserve is actually invested into cryptocurrency right now that I know of.
Whoa, wait a minute. You said 2/5? That's 40%, man.
Yeah.
That's
a significant amount of the so it's about 7 banks. It's about 7 banks that make up the Federal Reserve. And most of those banks are investing into cryptocurrencies. And I've been lying to people about investing in cryptocurrency. So the biggest institutions who hold a lot of the capital, they're all investing in cryptocurrency.
Unbelievable.
Which is the largest investing institution in the world. That pretty much it's the financial arm of the Federal Reserve, which is the people who print all the dollars in the world.
Right.
They're investing into stable coins like USDC, which is basically the dollar coin of all of crypto right now, really. And Circle, JP Morgan, Coinbase. I mean, it's basically the equities market. JP Morgan itself, BlackRock, the Federal Reserve, every major financial institutions is secretly buying up cryptocurrencies. And one thing that it's been said already in like notes and stuff like that when they talk about cryptocurrencies is The reason they don't like cryptocurrencies is because they have trouble controlling it. So what they've been trying to do is to own more and more of it, so they can finally get some control over it. But then people like me, Charlie, and everyone else, we're fighting the good fight, buying the coins, not letting them get control of it.
Right.
So it's this consistent struggle. But they know where the wind's blowing, right? That like everyone who's young is going into cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and everything, and all these other industry, GameFi, and which is just games with money, which is really cool. So it's like, so let's just say you're really good at playing Call of Duty.
Okay.
You can actually start making a ton of money in the future off of being good at video games. So that's that's $1 trillion industry that's coming up.
Whoa. Wow. Dude, this kind of stuff just blows my mind, man. This is absolutely incredible. Charlie, anything to add to that?
Oh yeah,
you said only 70,000.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you know, a coin in 10 years, you know, something that started at absolutely zero goes to from like less than a penny, literally, to 70K. You know, it's just fat. It's not just kind of hilarious. But
sure,
he is correct, right? There we are in different economic conditions than what we were when, you know, during the 2010s, essentially. The 2020s is going to be totally different. But that doesn't mean the demand isn't going away, which is what Miguel is saying here.
Right.
I would say there's a couple facets here to kind of color what Miguel was saying a little bit, because he basically touched, I think, on all points. One, which is a little counterintuitive. A lot of people are saying this is going to kill cryptocurrency, which is the central bank digital currency, aka Fed coin.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, like a lot of people, what they're thinking is like, oh, you know, the Federal Reserve is going to come out and the world governments are going to come out, you know, the EU, America, are going to come out with the central bank digital currency, and it's going to be based on Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of the blockchain. And, you know,
that's basically, that's the banking system right now.
Right. Exactly. Right. So they're just going to digitize it because they're trying to keep up with this industry.
Unbelievable, man.
And so they're using it in different ways. Like China's using it in a way that's more like Skynet, which is not great.
Oh, wow.
So you really have to watch out for this technology. It's not great right off the bat.
And when you say Skynet, you're talking like Terminator 2 type shit, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, they literally, China in their country, one of their databases for the government is actually named Skynet.
Oh, shit.
I'm not even joking.
Oh, wow.
Nose, right?
Oh, my God. They're fucking building like T-1000s over there or some crazy shit
over there.
Oh, fucking hell. Okay.
So, like,
all right.
When you think about things like UBI, right, the governments are going to give that out to your phone directly through a central bank digital currency.
Right.
Something like a USDC that currently exists. Yeah, it's going to be a little wild. But why is that going to bring more innovation to cryptocurrency? Is because people love or want or always go towards freedom.
Of course.
And so,
of course,
once people figure out how they're getting screwed, they're basically going to be like, oh, so now I know how to use a wallet. I know how to send and receive digital currency. I know how to do all these things. Oh, there's this thing called Bitcoin, by the way, that actually is free. It's free to use by anybody, depending on their political beliefs, all that stuff. So they're going to gravitate towards that once they get they have to get red pilled in the sense of finance.
There you go.
And it might take a lot of pain for people first. So that's one aspect to pay attention to. The other, if I were to just simplify it, is just the increase of technology over time in a parabolic curve. We see this with the microwave, the television, cars, everything else, right? Crypto's in that early stage of disrupting both the internet and finance, and it's growing at a parabolic rate. Wow. That rate will slow down and it will be like an S curve.
Sure.
But the banking system sees this, and anybody who has used crypto for any extensive period of time knows that it's better than PayPal, better than your bank, way less restrictions, 24 ecosystem. But is it perfected yet? No. So it's this kind of clunky growth system that now finally, like Miguel mentioned, the governments, institutions, corporations are starting to realize isn't going away. So they have to play in the system as well.
Wow, well said. I think you said this right in the middle of season 1. You said, and it was either you or Miguel, I can't remember, but cryptocurrency is the red pill of the finance industry. Because crypto, just like you said, it represents freedom. It's like, and you guys probably experience this now, but I remember when things changed for me financially, I remember thinking to myself, and this is why I got into crypto to begin with, because I remember thinking, oh my God, I've got 6 figures in the bank. My life is, everything is great, blah, 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 blah. Well, that actually complicated my life because my banks became more restrictive. One bank even closed my account because there was too much money coming in and too much money going out. They actually sideways accused me of money laundering, even though almost all of my purchases were from Amazon and Apple. And I'm thinking to myself, what that I just could not understand why my banks just wouldn't let me spend as much money as I wanted to. Clearly, I had a lot to learn about finance there, but when you get into cryptocurrency, if you want to send $45,000 in Bitcoin to somebody, you can do it just like that. Nobody's going to say shit, nobody's asking questions. It is what it is. And that's what I like about cryptocurrency is the freedom.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. A simple question here says, what's the best way to go about crypto because of the crash? Dollar cost. What's your advice to guys who are a little bit skittish now because of the crash?
That's good. So you got to look at your hand. If it's like this, then it's probably the good time to start buying. Right. So obviously, if you don't know anything about cryptocurrencies, obviously me and Charlie have the Crypto Mindset course.
Absolutely, man.
Soon. I think July 22nd it goes on sale, but that'll teach you up so you don't go into the meat grinder of cryptocurrencies. But for the most part, if you just stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum, AB right there, ABCs. I mean, those are the ABCs, the two safest coins. If you just put half of your dollars into Bitcoin, half of your dollars into Ethereum, and then you just set
okay.
So if you get paid every Friday and you can do like $200, put 100 into Bitcoin, 100 into Ethereum,
okay,
and just watch it grow over time. Eventually, that nest egg will build itself into something quite substantial. We are able to then either pay attention more to it or actually start buying some altcoins with it once you kind of learn where you're going. But right now, me and Charlie are saying these are actually good prices for Bitcoin. They are going to go lower. We do believe they are going to go lower.
Oh, really? That's good, I think, right?
But you missed the big part of the drop already. Now,
okay.
We only have so much. I mean, at the lowest, Bitcoin might go to 11K at the lowest.
Okay. All right. Very good. So you don't think it's going to drop below the 5-figure mark?
No, I personally do not believe so, no.
I hope. It was funny. We were having this conversation about the show last week, and we were sort of halfway kidding. We're like, I hope Bitcoin drops to like 450 so I can buy like a shit ton of it. That way, when it does get to only 70K, I can retire. Cultivate Crypto, what's your best advice for people who are a little bit shaky right now with their diamond hands?
Do some research. So
okay.
Buy a little bit, buy something so you have skin in the game, whether it's $100, $1,000, whatever it is that you can afford, that you're willing to lose. Like I said before, just get something, right?
Okay.
And if you're not sure, buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, and that's it. Like just stick to those two, and you won't go wrong. Keep it as a long-term savings account for 5 to 10 years, and you're like, you will not lose. You're 100% going to win.
Good. So
that's the first main bit. Then the second main bit is start doing research, which means for me in particular, I came to this market with a huge grain of salt. I was like, as soon as I buy it, it's going down, it's all-time highs, all this, all the stuff that people usually say. And I just thought that naturally. I didn't think that because anybody told me to think that.
Sure, that's just how it works.
Yeah, and so I came in. I always come into every crypto project with a massive grain of salt. Why is this thing a scam? Why is it, actually going to work? And so with that mentality, you can't let that mentality stop you. You have to let that mentality make you curious. And so for me, one of the best places to start for somebody who's brand new is a guy named Andreas Antonopoulos.
I remember him.
More technical things to go through, and so like that was hard for me at the beginning. And I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but the more detail you understand about crypto, also in the Crypto Mindset course and on our channels as well, we talk about all this stuff all the time. So just get yourself educated, because if you buy something and you're like, the price went up today and then went down tomorrow, you're not going to have the conviction to hold it or to understand the long-term moves of it, or to buy more in dollar cost average earlier as the prices go down, because you don't understand it, or you don't understand where it's going. You don't understand where you are in the sea of everything, right? So you want to get your bearings first. Use those resources.
Like be patient. You know what I mean? Like at this point, you have to be a man about it. Like you're gonna, like there are going to be ups and downs. This is why women don't make the best investors, because they're fucking, dude. Even Devin, I think she's got a couple of thousand in crypto, and there was one week she was driving me fucking crazy. She's like, oh, it went up, it went down. I'm like, Devin, like, fucking put your phone away. Like, this is how it works. Oh, wait, I just lost $4. Oh, I just made it. I'm like, oh my fucking God, I'm going to stab myself in the eyeball with an ice pick. Oh my God. I love you to death, Dev, but she drove me fucking crazy that week. Ay. She actually wanted me to she wanted to get on the phone with you guys. I was like, no, I'm not subjecting them to this nonsense. This is a very interesting question. It's kind of long-winded, but if you guys can, I've never heard of this before, but this guy asks, why are none of the red pill guys discussing ISO 20022, which is the new international banking regulations? All you hear is Bitcoin, Ethereum, but Bitcoin nor Ethereum are but neither Bitcoin nor Ethereum are ISO compliant. So why don't people talk about this? If the goal is to help men, and I believe this channel does a good job at that, talking about mine, why not help educate on things that really help impact people in the crypto space? Because when we get regulations here, 10,000 plus cryptos will get wiped out overnight due to liquidity issues alone, as people won't be able to pull their funds out fast enough, if at all. ISO 20022, if anyone is truly interested in crypto, start hitting the books. I mean, dollar cost. What? I mean, I don't know what the hell any of that means.
Man, I'm borderline thinking it's got something to do with XRP. I don't know why.
No! XRP!
My spidey senses are going off.
Oh no, XRP. So you think this guy is like an XRP fanboy?
Yeah, I've only heard about that with the XRP.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not throwing the bus like that.
All right, okay. We'll give it a bit benefit of the doubt.
But let's go into it. So the reason we call crypto the red pill of finance, right, is because once you actually do onboard money, like, to tell you the truth, me and Charlie, for the most part, we really don't take too much money out of crypto unless we just need something. But there's actually tons of services where we can spend crypto to buy stuff.
Yeah, right.
If I really wanted to, I could just buy all my plane tickets, all my stuff. I mean, my hotel, everything with crypto.
Yeah, right.
Like all of it with crypto. So it's the whole thing where, like, even if let's just say they made crypto illegal, I would still use it.
Of course.
Everyone would and there's
how are they going to stop
they
you?
Could do to stop it.
Yeah.
They can't.
Right.
They can't stop us.
Yeah.
It's freedom. Yeah, it's the libertarian sort of red pill sort of thing where, like, our money can do whatever the hell we want it to do, and once we have it in our possession, they don't control it because it's not in the bank anymore.
Right.
It's on the blockchain.
Right.
They can't stop Bitcoin. They can't stop Ethereum. Most of these cryptocurrencies they can't stop. I'm pretty sure there's maybe one or two. There's a couple out there, a Solana or something like that, where they could maybe possibly stop it.
Dogecoin, maybe.
But Dogecoin. Actually, no. Dogecoin runs on Litecoin.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
so they couldn't
well,
stop
goddamn.
Dogecoin.
Well, shit, if they can't stop Dogecoin, they can't stop any goddamn thing.
They can't stop anything. Yeah. Because, I mean, obviously the price would go down for a bit if something major like that would happen, but eventually we would just say, like, I mean, we'd go, we're the honey badger. We don't give a damn.
I love that. Cultivate Crypto, what are your thoughts on this whole ISO 20022 blah 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 blah?
So let's just take it at I agree with everything Miguel said, and like, let's just take it at the angle of regulation, right?
Okay.
So regulation is going to bring crypto to zero, right?
Okay.
Which I don't think is true, but
yeah, that's ridiculous.
We go into February of this year, and the Biden administration did announce that over the next 6 months, we're going to come out with a report of digital assets, including cryptocurrency, stable coins, which is more going towards that Fed coin idea before that we discussed. And yeah, we're going to come out probably around September with a report on this, and then we're going to start, basically cracking down on things. The thing they're going to crack down on first is actually stable coins, which is essentially because, I mean, they're trying to make currencies or stable coins which are stable to the US dollar mainly. So they see that as a little bit of an attack. And so stuff that we saw with Luna, you can get your tinfoil hat on and say, what happened there, right?
Right.
Because they had UST, which was a stable coin to the dollar, which is backing Luna, and then it crashed.
Yep. Yeah, it completely crashed. It was all over the place.
Yeah, so like Miguel said, there might be some coins. Solana is super centralized, so they're like, okay, maybe we have an attack vector here. But Sam Bankman-Fried, who runs that one, gave $250 million to the Biden administration when they were running for office. So
wow, conflict of interest much.
Exactly. So now you got crypto people lobbying the United States government on both sides of the aisle.
That's incredible.
So there's a lot of stuff going on here. It's not that simple that, once regulations come, crypto's going to zero. And regulations will, like, the only thing we've seen this stuff do to crypto so far, Gary Gensler of the SEC is the main kind of villain there. The only thing we've seen is that it slowed the innovation down. And that's one thing also that you hear a lot of people in government say that they don't want, is to slow innovation down. So there's a push-pull effect, but they're not going to stop it. Like if the government's already creating a coin for themselves that's based on Bitcoin and Ethereum's technology, they're going to try to constrict part of it, but they're also going to give it enough room to survive, versus somewhere in China, right, where Miguel said, like, hey, if they ban it, I'm still going to use it. China banned it last year. There's tons of people
still using it. That's exactly right.
They ban it every year.
Yeah, of course, of course they do, but there's nothing they can do to stop it. I'm being told, like I've actually seen on some Reddit posts that I think they're gonna do like a prank coin. They're gonna call it like the Gary Gensler effigy or something like that. Because dude, I'm telling you, like he's public. I mean, you got some crazies out here. You got, oh, we need to find out where he lives and all this. I'm like, guys, like relax. Like I know we don't like the guy, but really, he's doing his job. Am I wrong? Like this is what he is paid to do. So let's just, we can laugh at him, but let's not get carried away. Here is another question, and I'll ask Miguel to lead off on this.
Sure.
He says, what's the future of Celsius? I heard they paid down their debt, but it appears that Alex Mashinsky was up to some shady business. I actually heard a little bit about this a couple of weeks ago. What are your thoughts there?
It's really up in the air right now, but I mean, to tell you the truth, I think users who, like, obviously me and Charlie have been telling everyone to get their money off of any centralized exchange, Celsius, Voyager, Crypto.com, anywhere, even Coinbase. Not that some of these companies like Coinbase are going to go under, but more of just me and Charlie have always been under the assumption is like we want our money in our hands, under our control.
Damn right.
The red pill of finance. So we've been very vocal about this. I mean, we sold the Celsius token back, I think, December or January for about $4, $5 per token.
Okay.
I think right now it hit a low of 16 cents, and now it's at $1 maybe.
Okay. Hey, man. Hey, that's gain though, right?
Yeah. So here's what's going on. So people who had their money on that platform, right, probably are going to take about a 60% loss on their money. Yeah.
God damn! Oh my God, that gives me a stomach ache, dude.
But some of that money is going to be recovered. As for what's going on with Alex and Celsius and all that other stuff, I've heard little things there that Tether may have given them $1 billion and they just never gave them any collateral.
Jesus.
And who the hell knows what's kind of going on with that and stuff.
My God.
Right now there's just a lot of people on Twitter just mad because they don't have their funds, and then you have some big Twitter accounts very mad at Celsius, as well as Voyager, Crypto.com, and everybody else, because some of these big guys on Twitter and YouTube were big in the crypto space, lost their ass real bad because they invested a lot of money into companies. I mean, something like a BlockFi. Imagine you investing $1 million and your $1 million is only worth 50 G's today.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Is that something that happened? Because Devin and I watched a documentary on Quadriga. Do you guys remember what happened there? Yeah. Like, dude, like we watched that. We're like, dude, like that. And listen, I think he's alive somewhere. I think because I mean, dude, they've got it on record that all the money that they lost, it's still being traded and exchanged like in some sort of back channel cold storage or something or other. I don't think that dude is dead at all. He mysteriously died, and I think he mysteriously died in India of some of colitis. No, I'm not buying that at all. How is it that guys like that can get away with things like that, like they did at Quadriga? How can we trust? Now, this is a Canadian crypto exchange, so I guess the regulations are a little bit different there. But what kind of confidence can we have in exchanges that they're not going to pull a Quadriga?
Go ahead, Charlie. You want to go?
Yeah, go ahead, Charlie. Yeah.
I was just gonna say maybe you can't. Right.
Okay. All right.
And so,
hey, freedom comes at a cost, right? I mean, this is how it is.
Well, so we talk about crypto as the red pill finance for the freedom aspect, but also the transparency aspect, which is you're mentioning there. You can look on the blockchain,
right?
You can find these MFers. I don't know if we can swear on this channel or not.
Oh yeah, we can. Okay. we can find these motherfuckers.
Eventually,
right?
Every major hack that's been over like $50 million or $100 million, has the person's been found within like a week.
Okay.
Right? Because
that's true.
Crypto is so. In my honest opinion, if they really wanted to find this guy, they probably could. I agree with you that it's very fishy. He's likely still out there.
Of course he is.
Alex Mashinsky is a different type of interesting in terms of from an objective point of view, from a subjective point of view, a different type of grimy.
Him and Jerry Cotton are two very different entities as far as I'm concerned.
Right, but still, I mean, what Mashinsky did was not right, right?
Well, right. It's about as right as gotten,
if these
right?
centralized exchanges have a central point of failure, which is a human, you can use them for what their purpose is, which is to get whatever cryptocurrency you're looking to get, maybe a few rewards on top of that, and then take it out of there, right? And then custody your own coins, have that self-responsibility, basically take that gold and put it under your mattress, or take that cash and put it under your mattress.
Right.
Take that cryptocurrency, put it on your cold storage, or put it on a Exodus wallet or somewhere where you hold your private keys, or on a MetaMask. So it's up to you to protect yourself against those players, which in the traditional industry, this goes back to kind of that Keynesian versus Austrian economics view that I was mentioning before, where Keynesian economics is kind of like Big Brother, and Austrian economics is like a libertarian absolute freedom. If you give people absolute freedom, they're not used to that in the current financial system.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
They like to point fingers, blame, and stuff. But at the end of the day, if you lose money in this market, it is on you. And a lot of people aren't mature enough for that, or haven't been used to that type of system yet. So you have to get in that mindset of taking that responsibility. And not everybody's cut out for that, because the higher you get in net worth, the more you have to take you are your own bank. So you have to take measures like a bank.
To me, as far as that's concerned, it's simple. You can't have all of the freedom and all of the red pill benefits that comes with being involved in cryptocurrency without a measure of risk. This is just how it is. One of the reason why, the reason why I think some people are afraid of crypto is because they know they don't have the mental wherewithal to withstand the pressure of being your own bank. Some people really do. Some people really do understand it on a molecular level. This is why people feel safe with banks, because the FDIC insures their stuff up to $100,000 or $250,000, whatever the case may be. Whereas if you've got cold storage, like if something happens to your money, that's it. Like there's no regulations, there's no organization, there's nobody you can call. It is what it is. You got to protect that literally with your life. So if you want the freedom to be able to sit and receive $45,000 and $50,000 anytime, wherever, however, to whoever, then you're going to have to accept those risks.
Right. Correct. And I mean, there is like a couple things that you could do to try to make things a little safer. I mean, but when Rodrigo was made, I mean, it was really in the early days of it was real Wild West.
Yeah.
So the reason he was able to walk off with everything, it's sort of the same thing what happened with Mt. Gox. It was one person who had control of all the money.
That's right. And Jerry Cotton was the only person who had all the keys when he died. He was the only person. So if only one person has the key when you die, then I guess that's what creates that kind of chaos.
Yeah. Wow. Eventually they're going to put things in systems. If you're going to have an exchange, you need to have something like a odd number of people. So you need like 7 people. 7 people or something like that. 7 people having all the keys for all the wallets, and then that way, even if someone passes away, and then these things are being created now. I mean, it's being created now. Good. Like there's actually processes like if I pass away, things can be passed along to the family members. So that's happening right now. It didn't exist 5-7 years ago. It's just because it was like, I mean, the industry was basically created in 2009, and really no one really even took it seriously in terms of like this actually can be the future until 2011. Really.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, listen, shout out to Jerry Cotton, man. I can't look. I hate it for everybody who lost their money, but and it sucks because these were the people who were the early visionaries. These were the true believers when everyone was telling them they were crazy. Then Jerry Cotton runs away with all their money. The people are like, "See, we told you." And what's terrible about this is that cryptocurrency it's safer than it's ever been in history. And those people who got ripped off by Jerry Cotton and Quadriga and all those guys, they're going to be a little bit more hesitant to trust another exchange, unless of course they're risk averse. But dude, when you lose $400,000 or $500,000, man, that will, oh my God, there's no living that down. Holy God.
The other thing thinking about that is the government steals more money than any other entity in the world.
Yeah.
So through taxes, right?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. So. Oh my God. Yeah, I get listen, I'm not a homosexual man, but I get bent over every year because I'm a high earner and I'm reproductively responsible. Go figure. I had one more question. So Ox Craig says, is there a course I can take? I have a reading comprehension learning disability. Yes, the crypto mindset course. I think that there is some reading involved, but I think it's mostly an auditory and a video course. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. All right. So very good. So unless if you speak and read and write English fluently, Crypto Mindset course is for you. Here's the last question. Is paying capital gains on crypto the same as a stock? I remember if I remember correctly, episode 4 we had the same question. So dollar cost is blah 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 blah. Is paying capital gains on crypto the same as paying capital gains on a stock? Very good question.
Yeah, basically yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Much, yeah, you keep a crypto for a year, you sell it a year later, you go from short term, which is a really big tax hit, to like 10 to about 15 to 10%.
Okay. Wow, that's substantial. Okay. Very good.
Hodling is the way, you guys.
Yes, diamond hands. God damn it, diamond hands. Last question for the both of you. Will crypto climb higher or lower after the November elections? Charlie.
Very good question.
Yep.
So what I'm looking at in terms of this year is I do think Q3, which we currently are in, we've just started, has positives for crypto. So I do think basically I'm calling this swing trade summer, meaning there's going to be moves here with coins that you can use to basically increase your cash positions.
Okay.
If you're really paying attention, and this is what we're part of what we're talking about in the course as well. So I think there's that opportunity. That being said, there's several macro events outside of crypto with the Fed and macroeconomics that are going to also be a little bit of a headwind or a drag on there. So I think in terms of the question specifically after the elections, there will be some downside towards the end of the year. Whether that is the bottom or we get the bottom before then is a totally different question. But I do think after the elections, you do get some downside potential, but that's also an opportunity. So if you're paying attention to the swings throughout the rest of the year and you're looking to dollar cost average in, you're going to be just fine. But I think for the rest of this year, it's for people who want to pay attention, and what does that mean? That means like, once a week you pay attention to what's happening in the market, and that's it, right? It's not like every second of every day or anything like that.
Say Devin.
Well, yeah, which will make you go crazy, right?
Oh my God, yes. Let me ask you, this is actually a personal question for myself. Is there a way to, let's just say you have $20,000 in Bitcoin. Is there a way to take that $20,000 in Bitcoin and put it in a Bitcoin wallet and then just have it sit there as Bitcoin and not have it go up or down? Or as long as you have Bitcoin, you're at the mercy of the what's the chain? What's the word I'm looking for? The what's
volatility?
It called? No, it's called something. It's a basic term. It's something. Oh, the blockchain. You're at the mercy of the blockchain. Yeah, there we go. Ugh, jeez.
Yeah, so it's like gold, right? If you take gold, like any piece of gold, and you have it, like in the place that you're going to sell it, right? There's a market for it, but when you put it in the ground in your backyard, it's still going to fluctuate with the price of gold.
Very good. That's a very good way to explain it. That makes perfect sense.
The same with Bitcoin. If it's on, if you're holding it on a private wallet,
same deal.
It's going to fluctuate in dollar terms. But here's the thing. And I know people always think this is crazy when you hear this at first, but one Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin, right? Which just means that it's always going to have the value that it has within the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And the dollar value over time, because it is a good hedge against inflation over the long run, right? 75 Bitcoin back in 2010 would get you literally like a loaf of bread and water because it was less than $1.
Shit,
right?
75 Bitcoin will buy you a fucking island today, man. God damn.
Exactly.
Woohoo!
So that's the type of mindset shift that you have to do. But it took me a really long time to get that one Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin or one Ethereum is always one Ethereum, because everybody focuses on the dollar value fluctuation short term, where it's a long-term savings account.
Funny story before we close out the show. The very first time I actually spent Bitcoin or attempted to spend Bitcoin, it was for Kratom. My good friend Chris Diotis over at Happy Hippo Herbals. I had no idea how it worked, right? And so I think my total, it was like $70-something or whatever. And I attempted to send 70 Bitcoin, like 72 Bitcoin. I'm like, why isn't it letting me send 72 Bitcoin? So I call up Chris. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to send you 72 Bitcoin, but it's not letting me. He's like, you're trying to do what? I was like, yeah, I'm trying to send 72 Bitcoin. He's like, you have 72 Bitcoin? I'm like, yeah. And he was silent for a second. And I was like, what's the big deal? So after about a 30-second conversation, I was like, oh, okay, I understand. So I'm not really going to send you 72 Bitcoin. I'm going to send you a fraction of a Bitcoin. I thought that was actually quite funny. Clearly, I've learned my lesson since then.
Was that good-looking loser?
Keep that.
Yeah, good-looking loser. Chris Diotis, good-looking loser.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's an OG, man.
Yeah, dude. I've known Chris. Oh my God, I've known him for 8 years, man.
Super successful guy.
Oh
Super
yeah, dude. I keep telling him to get the hell out of Idaho, man. I was like, dude, get out of Idaho. He's like, no, he likes it there, the tax regulations and all that good stuff. But Chris and I became good friends because I was looking for clearly I have a temper problem, but I didn't want to take medication for it because I didn't want it to sap my energy or creativity.
Right.
And so Chris reached out, I was like, look, dude, you should try kratom. You won't turn into the big green monster, but you won't suffer mentally either. And it's changed my life. That's really the first time I discovered Bitcoin, because he was like, hey, you can pay me in Bitcoin. I'm like, what's Bitcoin? And he gave me like a 5-minute explanation, at which point I bought some and decided to try to send him 72 Bitcoin. And oh my God. Well, I tell you what, man, he was very nice about it, because he could have said, hey, look, you need to send me 72 Bitcoin. And I would have been, I'd be living on the street somewhere. Gentlemen, this has been a fantastic episode. Always fantastic to catch up with the two of you. Thank you guys all very much for all of your questions. My thanks to Cultivate Crypto and Dollar Cost Crypto. Guys, be sure to follow them on Instagram at Cultivate Crypto. Is there a one after Cultivate Crypto, Charlie, or is it just at Cultivate Crypto?
No, just Cultivate Crypto. If there's any change in the name, it's usually some sort of Filipino scammer who basically created another account. So, look for the actual one.
Okay, very good. See, it's no longer Nigerian scams now. Now it's the Filipino scams. They seem to have taken the page from the Nigerians. You guys can follow Miguel at Dollar Cost. Now yours is a little different. Is it at Dollar Cost Crypt or Dollar Cost Crypto?
Crypto, yeah. The only reason it's on Twitter, it's because it's only 15 letters fit on Twitter. On Instagram, it's got the O at the end, so it's got Dollar Cost Crypto.
Okay. Yeah, I remember the first time I heard your name, I'm thinking like Dollar Cost Crip, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're out here cripping, you know what I'm saying? Like the rolling 60s and shit. Yeah, we're out here in these Bitcoin wars. Guys, my sincerest thanks. Let's do this again next week, man.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah, man.
That is gonna do it for this edition of Crypto Oasis. We will see you guys next weekend, same bat time, same bat channel. Take care. Do it for this edition of Crypto Oasis. We will see you guys next weekend, same bat time, same bat channel.